Good evening. My name is Shane Soto, and I will be covering the estimate activity durations for time and cost management. On the agenda, we're going to cover the estimate activity defined, padding, how is estimating accomplished, and a conclusion. Estimated activity defined. Once the activities are defined in sequence and the type and quantity of resources required for each activity are identified, the next step is to estimate how much time each activity will take. The estimators should be those who will be doing the work. When it's possible for large projects, however, the estimators are more often the members of the project team, as is known during planning, who are most familiar with the work that needs to be accomplished throughout the project. Realistic time estimates. The individuals need to have access to activity lists and attributes, activity resource requirements, resource calendars, the resource breakdown structure, organization process assets data, and the enterprise environmental factors. The resource breakdown structure is created in the previous process. The organizational process assets is historical data and lessons learned about activity durations, past projects, calendars, and the defined scheduling methodology. And the enterprise environmental factors is the company culture and existing systems that the project will have to deal with or can make use of, such as estimating software and productivity matrix. Padding. This is as simple as what would I expect the time of a completion to be and the safe side, and then you want to double that time to ensure you give yourself enough time to complete by the suspense date. Doing this can make your budget and schedule one that is not credible and wasted time, and developing one that is not realistic. More so, it can damage the reputation of the team and the project manager. This is not considered reserves as it is created in the risk management chapter. How to estimate accomplishing the projects. 1 point estimation. While it's not the best method to use, the estimator submits one estimate per activity. For instance, given a specific activity will take 5 weeks. Analogous estimating uses expert judgment and historical information to predict the future. The past 2 times we did the activity, it took 5 days to complete. Then the estimated time of completion of this step is 5 days. Parametric estimating looks at the relationship between variables on an activity to calculate time and cost estimates. They can use 2 ways to estimate this time, and that is regression analysis and learning curve, which is the more times it has been completed, the previous time is slower than the next time. 3-point estimation allows more consideration of the uncertainty of estimating and the risk associated with the activities. This type of estimation takes into what can go right, which is opportunities, and what could go wrong, threats, and can help estimators determine an expected range for each activity. If they state this range using the 3 time or cost estimates, the project manager can better understand in variation of the activity estimates and overall project estimates. Group decision-making techniques is estimating can be beneficial on many levels due to those completing the work would have a good understanding of how long each activity should take. This also gives the opportunity to the team to buy in on the project and the schedule of the project. Now, the reserve estimates can be broken down into 2 types of estimates called contingency reserves and management reserves. The contingency reserves are for the identified schedule risks remaining that are the planned risk response processes. The management reserves are additional funds set aside to cover unforeseen risks that would impact the project's ability to meet the schedule. And that would conclude today's lesson on estimating completion times.